Caitlin. And I was like, girl, like, where are you going? And she's like, so
He tried to tell me it was some random lady sitting in our chairs and she had a yellow raincoat on. I was like, I don't believe it. So
I was like, "Okay, what do you got on?" She's like, "I got on my hot pink sweatsuit. Perfect. I got on my yellow raincoat." Coat. On the sidelines. Per usual, we'll start out with some of our past events that have happened recently. And Tanisha, you are up.
Keston started AAU basketball. They've had quite a few practices, which have been very developmental. She's learned a lot during her practices. And then she had her first game this weekend. So scheduling was a little bit crazy because Traden had like 3 different events on that same day. We let him decide which one he really wanted to go to. So he was at a football camp. So William took Keston to our first basketball game. I called him. I was like, "You gonna FaceTime me so I can see it? Because I want to see it." And I always have to FaceTime him. So it was his turn to FaceTime me. Um, she did good. She brought the ball up court. She dribbled. She was very aggressive. But the league that they're in, it's a unisex league, but the team that they played for was all boys. And Kesslin is playing with the first and second graders, and the score was 16-4. So Kesslin's team came out with the victory over them fellas and blew them out. Yes, honey. Yes. Look, y'all thought I was about to say she got beat.
I did. I was expecting all defensive player of the year. Okay. Okay, girls and boys.
Yeah. I'm just saying with the WNBA salary increase, here we go. Can we get a little bit more too? In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
But yeah, and then Traden's he had to miss his first track meet due to the football camp, which was the Isaac Brown football camp, a current U of L player at
U of L.
The camp was in Mail. I don't know why I said that. Sorry. The camp was in Mail. Whoo! And it was very organized, very structured. They stayed on the sidelines of the end zone, and they had different sections set up. Isaac was very engaging with all the campers. Each group got to do a scrimmage game with him, and he was the quarterback. He took pictures. He did autographs. Of course, there was different packages involved, but it was really good just to see the kids in different communities, wherever they may have came from, to have somebody of his stature to look up to. And shout out to his additional teammates that showed up too, because the attendees of the camp were very excited about that, for them to take some of their time to give back to the community and make that presence in the community. Because all were very polite. Nobody was like, "I ain't taking no picture. I ain't giving you no autograph." They were willing, even as they was walking to their cars, going to the parking lot. They was like, "We got y'all." So that was my past football and basketball. Kick it off to Celeste, the older sister, to tell us how her past couple weeks have been.
My past couple of weeks, once again, been baseball, baseball, baseball. Alonzo did have 2, what are they called? The all county band rehearsals. One was at Crosby. So on that night, I did miss the baseball game. I sat in the car with Game Changer and listened along while Alonzo practiced his band. The other night, he had practice at Carruthers. It was packed over there, but I guess all the kids in the county, because that was the full band rehearsal. He's excited. I learned about a new instrument. Apparently, he's going to be playing the brake drum, which is actually the rotator of a car brake. So he had to bring a piece of an automobile home with him because that will be a drum. But once you hit it with a mallet, it's got a good sound to it, but it's called the brake drum. You might want to look it up if y'all didn't know, because I just found out last week. And Dalen, I'm not even going to say the middle of baseball because I feel like it just started. Everybody's back from spring break. Spring break tournament was so, but I mean, it was good to be out the house every day. Keep asking Dalen how'd he get so dark. When at the same time, I've gotten just as dark. Because we was out in the sun every day, and we still continue to be out in the sun every day for baseball. Supposed to have a game Saturday. It got canceled due to the weather. Had a game Friday. I think we had a game Wednesday and Tuesday. And we have a game tomorrow. We'll do 3 more games that week. And we're just chug-a-lugging. He finally made it up to his spot of designated hitter. He was designated hitter all last game. He did get a hit. I feel like whenever I'm there and I report him, he does not get hits. That he got that hits. But yeah, still baseball and band season at the moment. And I will hand it over to Lee, the youngest sister.
We heavy in our sports season, heavy in track for me this week, for us as a family. Some of the band activities as well. Darian is in all county percussion ensemble. I believe our concert's on the same night. Yes, so coming up, they'll do that full concert. Had two track meets this week, did really, really well. Super excited about his season as a hurdler, and a relay race person. But of his past events, he had his first track meet of the season this Monday. Did really well in those. I think he placed first in a few of his heats, or if not overall. And then, of course, Saturday he did the 100-meter hurdle, 300-meter hurdle, 4x1 relay, 4x2 relay, and placed first in all of those events. So super excited for this season. We won't be participating in AAU this season. We're going to focus on training, but excited to be able to go see Traden run for the AAU season that he is partaking in. And now that we're open on the other days, I think I can go to David's baseball game Monday because I think my schedule just opened up. But heavy in the track season, and looking forward to this week. But those are my past events. So stay tuned as we talk about our upcoming events of this week.
Bless the older sister checking in with our future events coming up and what we are currently doing as sisters on the sidelines. As we hit the end of the school year, I am preparing for one mighty senior graduation that we have been praying for.
It's happening!
For a long time, Lord. But Dalen is graduating. He receives his cap and gown last week, and we're just waiting to finish out this year academically to see how that goes. And there will still continue to be a baseball even after graduation. So it's going to be exciting and sad to see, all the little adopted children that have come in and out of this house cross the stage. And there's a whole lot to name, but we'll be looking forward to that. It is in the middle of the week, which is a question I have to pose to everybody, viewers included, because I've already asked my coworkers, was y'all's graduation in the middle of the week or was y'all's graduation on a Sunday? Because I remember ours being on a Sunday, but we from a real small town and we didn't have 17 high schools. So, we kind of got that done. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. But Dalen's is Wednesday, May something. I think it's 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning. I have further details to come. The aunties are coming up here for a graduation dinner.
I'm gonna be in the building. What we talking about?
The real aunties, not us, girl. The real aunties.
You already
Oh,
did.
you got to clarify. We talking about the grands, the elders. Because
Look,
I'm
she
gonna
ain't
be in
even
the
40
building.
yet and is accepting the auntie title. I don't want it, and I'm 40.
I'm an auntie.
I'm
in these
auntie.
streets.
I've been auntie.
What are we talking about? These knees is aunties. What are we talking
Right.
about?
So, yes, they will be coming up here
Oh,
for
we have a guest appearance from the senior himself.
Oh, speak of the devil. Say hi. Tell the people you're graduating.
I'm graduating.
What day is your graduation?
I don't know.
Look, he don't know either. I'm gonna have to check the Tiger Talk newsletter to get that information confirmed for y'all. But I think it's the 27th.
I thought it was the 30th.
It can't be the 30th because that's the day I graduated, which is your daddy's birthday, which is why I remember anyway.
It's out there because look, I had to tell another senior parent when their kid's graduation was because the kid didn't know. So I looked at
it's a whole lot going on right now. It's
yeah.
Fern
Creek came up.
Fern Creek, I want to say it's on a Wednesday. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday, but I think it's Wednesday. Early in the morning. So that day will be a day
To remember.
to remember and getting him there, all the things encompassed with graduation. Alonzo is taking this summer to get his body right. He's been on that bike. He does 5 miles a day throughout the neighborhood, preparing for his auntie with his ride with his auntie. Auntie's 13 miles. God bless y'all. Yeah, and that's just all we getting ready for right now. Summer's used to the preparation going into summer used to be quiet. It's not quiet anymore at all. But
Before you pitched, I had a whole moment at, even though this isn't hot topics, with at Thunder when I seen him, Landon, and Precious. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know these kids like that, but they like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm gonna see them that much no more. And I got a little sad. Anywho, but
right,
yes.
because Precious FaceTimed me before, and I was like, boy, it is jets flying over my head. I cannot hear you. What is we doing? He's like, send me your location. I'm on my way down there. I was like, oh, and then when I seen Dalen and Landon on the camera, for some reason I told myself they going fishing. And then I turned around and they was walking towards me, and I
literally told her. I'll call her.
I thought she was coming with Peruse, but when I seen her leave, I was like, oh, he's not coming with Peruse anymore. Him and Landon's going fishing.
The pure joy that came over your spirit when you seen him, you was like, my
Ah!
son is here. Oh, my son. Oh my God.
He
I be trying not to have the
the
moments
baby.
he show I'm a G, but when I turned around, I was like, oh my God, they came. God. Because I didn't ask him or nothing. Me and Alonzo got up and left. We knew we had things to accomplish. So if you're not going to be a part of the morning get ready, you get left. And then he called me about to tell me the ambulance was outside. That's a whole different story. He's like, the ambulance is here. For what? And then for some reason the camera didn't pick it. It picked him up leaving, and I was just like, oh well, I'll check it when I check it to see if they at the lake, the water, the pond. And he marched in on his tippy toes.
Mm-hmm. Proud with Fern Creek on his chest.
Fern Creek, him and Landon. Oh, Landon. Yes, but yes, Lee. I felt the same way because I was like, oh, just think if we would have started this earlier. Which I mean, they can always come back home and go to Thunder. But yes,
You started early with Dalen. He was
yeah.
baby. I think that was my first Thunder was with him. I was so worried about that child, and I didn't even have kids yet.
Yeah, and his first Thunder was across the bridge because he had just started walking.
No, he was smaller than that. You remember where we was over the overpass and it was freezing cold, and I had short hair. That picture where I'm holding him up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's right. I did that out of order, but yes. And pitching to Tanisha Moran, your future plans going into this summer.
The future of the summer is, sports, but an update that I don't think I shared with Sisters on the Sideline. I recently took on a new role at church. First, it just started off with me like branching ideas, trying to figure out how I can help ministries get their information out on time. And I was venting to my aunt, who's also the first lady, just venting. And I was like, I don't want to quit doing this. I'm trying to find a solution, so I just don't end up quitting. And so we talked through a couple of things. She was like, I'm going to talk to our executive pastor, let him know these ideas, and then, we can kind of go from there and whatnot. And then I didn't know, as they say, I didn't know what I was walking into, and that a door would open just off that one session talking to her. But then when the executive pastor spoke to me, he was like, I've been looking for somebody, and this kind of works out perfectly. And he was like, you don't have to let me know today. I'll give you time to think about it, but I'd like you to take on, a bigger role and help with that. So it was exciting because at first, I get news about job opportunities or something, I immediately get overwhelmed. But I was like, no, Tanisha, you didn't know this door was going to open. This is where you're meant to be. I was excited and thrilled about it because it's similar to what I do for work. So I was like, I can now give back to the church the same way I give back to the corporation, which is something I've been striving to do even since I started out with the PTA. Like, how can I give back to the church and the community? So I'm a OM rep, and don't ask me what OM means because I do not remember. For my church, who will be doing event planning and probably operation manager or something like that. Who will be helping the ministries. I think we have like maybe 17 different ministries, those who have events plan their events, because often you see I do the new scripts. Often I see an announcement come out, and then that event may not make it through full throttle. We have amazing events still, and there's still so much out there, but I wanted to help, like, why is this particular event failing? How can we push it through all the way through the streamline? So there's been documentation, and I've also am a part of the leadership team now at church. So it's kind of like an extra bonus to get an additional teaching from the executive pastor, from the senior pastor outside of Sundays, that really pours into the ministry leaders to be better shepherds, better leaders for the church and for the community. So it's been eye-opening, but I feel like a door was open, and it just opened it up to bigger things that I'm excited to do this year and years in the future for the church.
Well,
And
congrats on that and that transition and feeling your ministry in multiple genres. So that is good to hear.
yes, thank you. Thank you, Sister Lavangela. I'm going to hand it over to you. You can discuss.
You're hilarious. So upcoming, we are preparing for the end of the school year. Darian will be partaking in his 8th grade promotion. A lot is happening. Just got the notification for the 8th grade dance, the spring fling. This is so much. My calendar got hit ultra blast for May. But not too many things popping off as far as his promotion. It'll be in the middle of at the end of the school day, middle of the week. It's like an hour because we grew up with families in middle school. They have teams. So the graduation is divided up by teams. So luckily most of his friends are on the same team as him. So, you'll be able to get those last pictures of them in middle school because not everybody's going to the same high school. So yes, so looking forward to that. For me personally, I don't have this in my notes because I just received this news, but I will be starting a new job. Um, that will start May the 4th. So super excited. This opportunity was recommended to me. So just my work, being able to speak for my capabilities, um, truly a blessing, and not having to feel like I have to, I don't know, tap dance for a job, but just showing up as myself and doing what I do and being good at it. And people saying, "Hey, I see what you're capable of. I want you on my team." So that was a cool moment, and I got the job, and I start May the 4th. So super excited there. And other than that, I have been participating in an entrepreneurial program. It's called Milestone. Our graduation is coming up in May. It'll be a virtual graduation, but I think we get to have our pictures on the NASDAQ New York wall. Like they'll pop our picture up real fast as the graduating class and whatever number we are. So looking forward to that. But I've learned a lot from other people who are entrepreneurs trying to do the same stuff I'm doing. The big milestone for me is automating my business and using AI and all the things to help automate some pieces so I don't have to be so hands on with stuff. Let's see. So that's that. Um, talk about our father and his upcoming doctor's appointments, just keeping him on track with those. He was supposed to have one this week, forgot to follow the protocol to prepare. So that's been rescheduled. But just making sure someone is there with him during the doctor's appointments and he gets there. Always entertaining conversations on the way. So, and lastly, Derby is coming up. We are partaking in some Derby events. We're kicking it off with the Bootsy Baddies concert this Sunday. So it's the Sunday before Mario's birthday. So a birthday gift We will be attending the Urban League Gala, and then we're going to see Wale that Saturday. So busy outside celebrating Derby, but looking forward to the upcoming events and hearing about everything else that everybody else is doing as well. Close out our information and upcoming week. So stay tuned as we talk about our hot topics. If you want to hear about what happened at Thunder, stay tuned.
Everyone, we are here to discuss our hot topic. Many of you Kentucky Annas may know that this past weekend, yesterday, matter of fact, was Thunder over Louisville. We've been attending for quite some years, and this year we included our kids. So there's going to be lots of juicy stories behind the kids down there, all the attendees, all the things to get through from parking to where the setup was, to whether or not we had signal on the phone. So we are going to start talking about Thunder over Louisville. I can kick us off. So I think this was my first year getting down there really late, as late as I did. Um, it was a jam-packed day. If you missed the jam-packed day for me, go back and watch the other episode where we updated you on our past weeks. I'll summarize it for you real quick, though. So Trayden had football camp, Kessler had a basketball game, and a hair appointment. I don't think I made it downtown till a good 8 o'clock. Luckily, two luckilies, Thunder doesn't start till like 9, and I feel like it's had its first delay with the barges since I've ever attended. So I was really contemplating, do I want to go? Do I not want to go? Let me hurry up and get these kids ready, pack up, throw on layers of clothes because it was freezing, and we gonna make a run for it. So we got down there like just in time. The kids were excited. I think we sat for probably about an hour to 45 minutes to an hour before the show actually started. So we still had time to like socialize. Come on, ladies, chime in. Let me hear y'all's feedback from Thunder.
I was gonna let you finish first. Well, when we got down there, which again, the whole thing of getting down there at 10 o'clock in the morning and staying all day, I don't think we've done that in the past couple years. But we got down there 3:30 ish, 4 o'clock, and that wind was just utterly disrespectful the whole ride down there. It was, which I still ride with my car windows down. A lot of people don't do that, but anyway, if you're a wind person, yesterday was for you. We parked at the Galt House, $40 parking, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you paid for parking." That $40 for parking to me was a lifesaver. Parked, we had about a 12-minute walk per our GPS system. Got to the location, spot got set up, and as I'm walking down there, I'm like, "Ooh, we're really close to this bridge." And I left my short camera lens in my car. And I was like, "Oh, this ain't gonna work." So mentally, I was thrown off from the beginning because, my thing, I like to take pictures. And I was like, "Oh, not this year. It's not gonna happen." So watched a little bit of the air show. My camera got wet, and I realized why people put bags over their cameras when it's raining, because in today's your future reference, if that water gets on your lens, the automatic focus won't work because it can't slide the way it needs to. So I was just like, forget it. Seen a few jets that were really loud. We were really close. Alonzo was there. He was in a mood until his cousin got there. He tried to tell me it was some random lady sitting in our chairs and she had a yellow raincoat on. I was like, I don't believe it. So then we had to walk back as we was walking to one of the food trucks. Anyway, used the porta potty, had a whole porta potty scenario with Lee. Just anyway, that's another story for another day. But it was clean. The porta potties were very clean. We got some of that outrageously priced food. If the food keeps going up every year, like we gonna have to go back to taking the coolers or just go to somewhere where the food's included. Because a good funnel cake every now and again is, it's a necessity, but I don't know if it's a necessity worth that much. The fireworks started. My older son, and his best friend made an appearance. The other kids appeared. football players. Watched the fireworks. It was really loud. They did not have the waterfall. That's why I forgot that other guy's name. What's his name? Brian? Me and another onlooker were like, oh, it's not over because we were waiting for the waterfall. And the waterfall was taken out of this year's show. Then I get into the Thunder Fanatics, and somebody did a whole letter to the whole Thunder Over Louisville committee. Why did y'all take the waterfall out of the show? So I wasn't the only one feeling a certain type of way. But I still got some good pictures, pictures of the kids, the families, the Thunder diehards, pictures of the bridges, the fireworks, a few of the jets. It was so cold, but luckily to my poppy sweatsuit that my sister Tanisha got me. It's the warmest piece of clothing I own. Everything else stayed in literally. All I had on was a sweatsuit. I had a t-shirt on under my sweatshirt. The only thing that was cold was my hands. So overall, it was a good event. Once we left, of course, y'all know because y'all was there, we all walked together to the Galt parking garage. I got in my car literally. We sat there for about 10 or 15 minutes to get warmed up. Pulled out of the parking space, pulled into the line of traffic to get out, and we probably sat there for like 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, nothing's moving. But the car behind me, did a little U-E in the parking garage and went down to the lower level. I was like, I don't want to go down there just to be stuck in another line. But by that time, Alonzo was over it. And he was just like, well, we ain't going to sit in here all night. Just go down there. And I was like, oh, my God. So I went down there. And when I got down there, I was like, it's just another line. But then it started moving really fast. Whipped over there. And, of course, all the cars was coming out. And it was a police officer standing right there directing traffic. And I heard him telling the other car about, we just got down here. It wasn't nobody down here directing traffic until we got here. So that's why it's a little backed up. So once we got out of the lower level of the Galt, we went down like maybe 2 or 3 blocks, 4 or 5, could have been more than that, and got on 64, and I was back home. Dalen and Landon sat in that parking garage in the same spot for an hour before they even hit the street. And I told them that's the worst part, but everybody got out, everybody made it home, and we lived another Thunder. So, Lee, how was your experience? Because you parked and walked the Walk of Freedom from 9th
I
Street.
did down there. I'm not gonna tell my location because it's limited parking, and I park there every year. So if you find it, you find it. But it was $20. It was probably I want to say like 10 blocks. We walked. We didn't have our wagons, so we just carried our chairs. Yeah, literally, because yeah, that's right. Because that'll tell you what street it's on if you do some math. Um, yeah, that's where we parked.
You
Anywho,
said 10 blocks?
just about
Yeah.
8 or 9. Yeah. Anywho, so the walk was not that bad. We got there. Darian navigated us partially using, the iPhone exchange information pins and shit. But that didn't work because he led us to a dead end. So, I took over with like 360 once we got to the Galt house, like the mouth opening. And I'm like, okay, she said she walked down here. No, we sat here before. Let me just visualize where she said she was at. We get to walking past the bell, all the things. The air show's going on. So we're trying to point out stuff because we had a first timer technically with us because we did the safe zone at the Bat Stadium previous years. But this was Darian's first time actually being up in the mix, up front row type Thunder experience, which is completely different. So get down there, get where I think Celeste dropped the location. And then I'm like, okay, we're here, but I don't see her. So just let me call. Of course, astronauts and spaceships flying over your head and you can't hear nothing. So I this is kidding. These were just airplanes and aircrafts. But I couldn't hear nothing. And then I was like, okay, what do you got on? She's like, I got on my hot pink sweatsuit. Perfect. I got on my yellow raincoat. I was not the woman in the chair, just to clarify. I came after this. I had on my yellow raincoat, and then she starts walking forward, and then we wave at each other, and then we had to walk up these steps, and then we made it. Set up shop, everybody's cool, And then we sit there and it starts raining. And I was like, I got on a raincoat. I know I packed 3 umbrellas. Where the 3 umbrellas? In my car, 10 blocks away. So you know what? We just set out in a track meet in the rain. I don't know, for 4 hours. These little sprinklets are not gonna hurt. So we were fine. We were fine. I found my little makeshift umbrella that you attach to the chair. Mario had his poncho. Darian just had to tough it out because whatever. We were right by the underpass and he could stand under there. So it was a good experience. The walk back wasn't that bad. And we got right home. I did not take a single picture of a single firework. Um, I was like, I do this every year. What are this? And then I got mad at myself because I was like, damn, I really didn't take no pictures of the fireworks. Like, what was I thinking? But Darian enjoyed himself. I did like the the flag that they did that they shot off from the bridge. That was, but I still would have preferred the waterfall. But you got, your carbon footprint that they're maybe considering, that they're worried about. Them fireworks do shoot directly into water. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I
They have
was,
enough mishaps last night with that happening alone.
and so that made me think about, what did them barges get hung on? Because why couldn't y'all? Was y'all stuck on something?
I didn't even know what happened when they were like, and there's going to be a delay to move the barges. I was like, y'all already did that. What are we doing?
No, they were stuck on
It
something.
wasn't in its normal position
Yeah.
either, even when it started. Because I told David Becker, I said, I don't think this is right. And he was like, oh, you're right. It still don't look like it's in the right position.
And then the other one had to get tugged by the other tugboat. It was just a lot. It was a lot.
It was
And I
right.
just pulled up Facebook, and Mark Weinberg from one of the news channels said, I'm placing my vote right now for the waterfall at Thunder 2027. Thunder isn't
All right,
Thunder
Mark.
without it.
Yeah. Okay, we on the same team, waterfall. Cause bring that back. Who told y'all to remove it?
Yeah, like that's how you know when it's over. And everybody was like, it ain't over. And I was like, I don't. Okay, they got us with the first polls,
Yeah.
but this one, I think it was.
And I was like, you newbies, y'all ain't been here before. This is intermission. It's not over. What are we doing? Packing up. Ugh, gosh.
Right. Everybody and their mama was packing up.
Thunder
People was
virgins.
scattering. I was like, it's not. We started late. We still got like 10 more minutes left.
Yeah.
It's like the sneak peeks during a Marvel movie. Don't get up.
Bad.
Yeah.
Say past the credits. Duh. But yeah, the drive back was not. I think we were the first ones to get home.
Y'all were.
Um, so the walk was worth it.
We stopped and got food. But our walk wasn't bad. And Celeste, I'm right there with you because with them kids, I was not
Yeah.
trying to find street parking and have to walk too far. So I told William, because he gave me the cash for parking. I was like, the most I will pay is probably $40, but whatever you think. And so I get down there and I'm driving. I see 20, but I'm like, is that too far? And I see 40, and I was like, maybe it's something cheaper around the corner. I went around the corner to the Actors Theater, and it was like $30. And I was like, okay, I'm not driving any further because I don't know how far I am. I'm gonna park right here, and I'm gonna go. And then kids hopped out the car. We rushed in there, and then when I was paying, I realized he gave me even more extra cash, and I was like, "Oh, look at him being thoughtful." And so, Kathleen Celeste, for the record, she did not sleep through the whole thing.
Oh, she
She
did see
was
it.
awake. She was awake through the most part of it because I said, "Kathleen, what was your favorite part of Thunder?" She's like, "Oh, where they shoot the things off the thing," and I was like, that is Thunder. Like, what was your favorite part? And I was like, well, maybe she was asleep during all of it because she's just explaining fireworks being shot off of a bridge.
Right.
And so it was like shortly before the finale, or even maybe a little bit before the finale is when she fell asleep because I kept on looking down at her and be like, you okay, you okay? And last night, oh my God, I don't know what was wrong with that girl. I think she was sleepwalking when she got out the car, so she did not want to get out the car, and I had to shake her and I had to wake her up. So she getting out the car. I'm done took some stuff in the house. I'm coming back out. I look at our garage and she's walking in the opposite direction of the house towards our neighbor's fence. And I was like, oh, she's throwing a fit because she don't want to have to walk in here by herself. But I'm not about to carry her. I'm like, Kesslin, and she don't respond. She just keeps on walking towards the fence. And I'm like, Kesslin. And I was like, girl, like, where are you going? And she's like, "Ugh." So I literally think she was sleepwalking. And if I wouldn't have hollered her name like for the fifth time, she would have smack dab walked into that
I
fence.
would have let her smack into the fence. They
Yeah.
would have woke up.
All it takes is one time.
So she finally got mad and stomped her way in the house and got in the bed. But our exiting of the parking garage, it wasn't terrible. Like, I probably sat in the space, and shout out to Traden for finding this spot on the second level, because I probably sat in the space for like maybe 5-10 minutes. And then once it started moving, like, I'm bogarting, easing my way out there because I'm not about to sit out here till all 25 of y'all cars go. And so the lady that was like a parking spot over from me, she was pulling out, and I looked at her and I was like, and then she's like, and then we got out, and once I hit the street, I felt like it was smooth sailing. And then I liked the parking because it was just like one right, one left, another right, and then I was on the interstate. Like, I didn't have
Mhm.
to go far at all, like through all that city mess traffic where they shut down all the streets. But yeah,
So that's what
it was
messed us up.
event.
Where we parked at, somehow we got to turn and get directly on the highway last the time we was there. And then I looked, I was like, this is a one-way street. I think that police officer let us out because we was not supposed to go out that way because it is clearly a one-way to go left, and I turned right to get on the highway. But so that messed us up. And then we when we turned around, there was a lady that was no, when we was walking back to the car, the police officers was motioning us across the street. Then there was one car coming, and the lady had her back turned this way, and then she turned around, and the dude was like, oh, that's my last one. So she turned around and just motioned the car across the street as we was walking. I said, hey. Like, she almost got us hit. Like, what are
Yeah,
you
girl.
doing?
Facts.
Yeah.
Well, all the excitement from all of the sisters let you know that our Thunder Over Louisville, which was at an estimated 500,000 people in downtown Louisville last night, was an event that everybody should experience at least once. So if you haven't been to Thunder Over Louisville, you might want to look into that in the future. And that will wrap up this segment of our hot topics for this week.